so that if you didn't get a chance to invite your friends or have somebody that you love watch this webinar, then you can always share the link with them. I will post it later this evening. But once again, thank you for joining me on this evening of cultivating a healthy sex life using essential oils. My name is Latina Thomas, for those of you who don't know me. I am a doTERRA wellness advocate, as well as a yoga instructor, a writer, a community volunteer. I like to sometimes think of myself as a socialite. I am a health and wellness counselor and soon to be naturopathic doctor. If you want to connect with me on Facebook, you may do so at Just Be Yoga Mem, or you can always email me if you have any questions. But what I will be doing is stay till the end of the webinar, because I have a drawing that I will be doing, and that will be for a brand new doTERRA product that we have. It's called Passion Lotion. And it smells amazing, and I'm actually going to talk about what the Passion essential oils are. So you're definitely going to want to stay tuned so that you can be in that drawing. But welcome once again, and let's just go ahead and we're going to go ahead and get started. So did you know that 15 to 20% of couples have sex no more than 10 times a year? That's less than once a month. That's crazy. And the experts actually define this as a sexless marriage. 20 to 30% of men and 30 to 50% of women say they have little or no sex drive at all. So what's causing all of these issues? What are our reasons for not having more sex than what we're doing? I think this will show. As you can see, we have a ton of reasons why we're not having more sex than we are. These are some of the things that people have said when asked this question, and they've said that they were tired at the end of the night and they just wanted to go to sleep instead of being intimate. Scheduling conflicts. Some people work during the day, their significant other works at night, so there's a scheduling conflict there. Sickness plays a lot into it. When you have, you're not feeling well, the last thing you want to do is have sex. Your self-image, self-esteem, those issues are big. If you are not liking your appearance, if you don't feel like you are the best, or you are you look the best, or you feel the sexiest, or you feel the healthiest, the last thing you want to do is have sex. It could be from side effects from certain medications. It could be from antidepressants, or it could be from antihistamines. It could be all kinds of things that can affect your allopathic medicines that can affect your sex life. Hormones, big one, especially for women. We have our hormones change periodically throughout the month, let alone throughout our lives, and hormones can really wreak havoc on all of our life, especially our sex life. For some people who are in the pregnancy age, you get fixated on, okay, is this going to be the time we get pregnant? And that could actually go for people who are not wanting to have children at the time. They're so fixated on, is this the time we're going to get pregnant or not? Or, I want to be, or I don't want to be. And it starts to become a chore. It's no longer fun anymore. It's stressful. You're exhausted from taking care of kids. If you have children and you take care of them all day long, especially if you're an at-home mom, you're definitely exhausted by the end of the day, because that's a 24/7 job. For those people who are working outside the home and have children, you also you don't ever get a break, because once again, being a parent is a 24/7 job. Maybe you have some anger or resentment towards the other person. This is a big one, because if we have, issues in our personal lives with our spouse, then that's going to affect whether we want to have sex with them or not. If we don't even want to be in the same room with them, that's a problem. If you're sleeping in another bed and they're sleeping in a bed because both of you are angry or one of you are angry, there's not going to be any sex having there. Depression. Depression's a huge one. We're gonna talk about that one a lot. Lack of emotional and practical involvement, which equals foreplay. So a lot of times for women, this one is a big one. We need more time. You know, for us, sex is not just physical; it's also mental, and so we need more time. We need those hugs and those kisses and those you know, holding and cuddling and the phone calls and all of that during the day, because really the foreplay begins the moment either one of you walk outside the door. You know, how you leave the house with each other really plays a big role in that. If it feels forced, if it doesn't feel fun and exciting and it just feels like I'm doing a job, or it's always about that other person, you're not going to want to have sex. If it's painful, pain can come from multiples of things. It could be you have an injury, or it could be hormones, it could be all kinds of things, and we'll talk a little bit about that too. Maybe negative past experiences. Maybe, you know, something happened to you when you were younger or more recently or whatever, and that will affect it. Okay, so maybe your sex life has become boring. Well, then, as my mother always used to tell me, if you're bored, that's just because you're a boring person. So get creative, do some fun stuff. You know, talk to your friends, see what they're doing, or ask your partner. It comes down to lack of communication. If you don't have communication in your everyday life and you don't communicate what you want or what you need as far as sex is concerned, then you're not going to want to do it. Being needed by everybody else, that giving to something to somebody else, yet another person, is just daunting. So basically, as women, we're always giving. We're always giving. But, you know, when we're giving out in the community and we're giving on our jobs and we're giving to our families, the last thing you want to do when you just need some me time is to think about pleasing somebody else. And then, of course, we got the parenting is stressful, and it's hard to shift gears from mama to a sexy lady. And that one, you know, you have to give time to each. You know, sometimes you have to take that mommy hat off and spend some time with your spouse, and really just maybe that means you guys need to go away for a little while without the kids, and just spend some mommy daddy time instead of being, you know, and being husband and wife instead of being, you know, mommy and daddy all the time. So anyways, so those are some of the things that I have found, and that research has found, that the reasons why people are not having sex as much as they normally do, or as much as they should. But if you notice, most of these responses aren't about sex at all. There are other obstacles in our lives, and they are stressors we need to pay attention to. Stress. Yeah, so stress is a big one. Stress is, there's all kinds of stress. There's work stress, depression, you know, just all kinds of stress. And stress can play a major havoc role in not only your life with, you know, making your immune system go down, but also, you know, in your sex life. So let's talk about stress a little bit. So a diminished interest in sex is one of the many symptoms that can develop as a result of increased psychological stress. And studies show that a decreased sex drive is a common complaint in people who have stressful jobs and long work hours. I'm sure you can understand why. But look at all the things that stress impacts. Stress, you know, if you look over to the mind section, with stress, you're worried, you get foggy thinking, muddled thinking, you have impaired judgment, you have nightmares, you become indecisive and negative, and you make really hasty decisions. And then when it comes to your behaviors, you know, you become more accident prone. You may lose your appetite, or you may eat more. You may drink more, you may have insomnia, you may have restlessness, or if you're a smoker, you may smoke more. Going over to emotions, yeah, big one. Loss of confidence. You are more irritable and fussy, you're depressed, you have apathy, you feel like you're just alone, you're apprehensive about everything, and Then if you look at what happens in your body, you can get headaches, you can get frequent infections, colds, you get taut, tight muscles, muscular twitches, you get fatigued easy. It's easy to have skin irritations, and you become breathless. Some of the things that depression, I'm sorry. Well, let's deal with moving on. We're going to deal with depression, because depression really is a big thing in our lives. But as you can see, stress plays a really big role in all parts of our lives, whether it's our body, our minds, our behavior, our emotions. And one of those things that stress can lead to is depression. And depression is, I mean, it's huge. Depression can manifest with a variety of different symptoms, including fatigue, sad mood, low sex drive, lack of appetite, feelings of helplessness, and disinterest in common activities. Antidepressant medications have serious side effects, including suicidal thoughts, weight gain, and personality changes. The good news is there are all natural remedies for depression that are effective and get to the root of the problem. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, about 1 in 20 Americans over the age of 12 has some form of depression. While the National Institute of Mental Health reports a higher prevalence in women, the fact is that depression can develop in any age and in anyone. Both men and women can experience difficulties with initiating and enjoying sex because of depression. But there really are some differences in the ways depression affects men and women. Women are most likely to experience persistent bluesy kind of feelings that can make them feel less confident and less worthy. These feelings can drastically change your overall sex life. As women, physical factors can make sex less enjoyable and sometimes even painful. Changes in the vaginal wall can make sexual activity unpleasant. Also, lower levels of estrogen can disrupt natural lubrication. Such factors can be depressing for women if they do not seek help to find relief. For men can exhibit anxiety, low self-esteem, and guilt are common causes of erectile dysfunction. These are all symptoms of depression, but such issues can also occur naturally with stress and age. The National Institute of Mental Health explains that men are also more likely to lose interest in activities during depression, and this could also mean that men may not find sex as appealing. In both men and women, having troubles with sexual health can worsen feelings of worthlessness and other depression symptoms. This in turn can cause a vicious cycle of both worsening depression and sexual dysfunction. So what are some of the causes of depression, right? Where can this be coming from? Chemical imbalances in the brain are some of the causes of depression. These can occur on their own or as a result of genetics and hormonal issues. Depression can also coexist with other illnesses. The symptoms of depression vary in frequency and severity for each person. Generally, the more severe depressed you are, the more problems you're likely to have with sexual health. That's unfortunate. Sexual desire is cultivated in the brain, and sex organs rely on chemicals in the brain to promote libido as well as changes in blood flow needed for the sexual act. So when depression disrupts these brain chemicals, it can make sexual activity more difficult. No matter the exact cause of depression, it can result in numerous physical and emotional symptoms. And this may actually be worse in older adults who already have occasional problems with sexual dysfunction. So at this moment, as you're sitting here thinking about some of the reasons or some of the causes that can, impact your sex life and, what's going on in your sex life, I want you to think for a moment. Is your sexuality helping you or is it hindering you? Like, what is your sexuality doing for you? A regular sex life is good for your health. It can satisfy all sorts of emotional and physical intimacy needs and help partners stay close. And for both men and women, a healthy, happy sexual relationship is crucial. According to iVillage's sex survey, over 93% of respondents agreed on the importance of a good sex life. By the sexes, more than half of men reported it is extremely important, compared to 40% of women who reported it is very important. So could that be one of our problems? Could it be that, men and women are just made differently? Men think about sex way more than women do. And, we have different priorities. Women seem to think, yeah, it's important because it is important, but, it's not as important as how men seem to think it is. I mean, like I said, 93% of men said that it is extremely important, but only 40% of women reported that it's very important. So that could be a little bit of a problem, right? In sickness and in health. So, we all said this. If you're married, you said, hey, I'm going to be there with my spouse in sickness and in health. And there are actually really good reasons why we should be having sex. Sex does wonderful things for our health. For example, it relieves aches and pains. You have better sleep, better immune system. It helps to lower blood pressure. You burn calories. It's like an exercise. You increase your heart health. You're strengthening your muscles, reducing your risk of heart disease, stroke, and hypertension. And you're also increasing your libido. The more sex you have, the more sex you're going to want to have, right? The emotional benefits of a healthy sex life. This is just as important, right? So if you are having a healthy sex life, you're going to be more confident. You may have more self-esteem. You may find that your mood is lifted and you're happier and you just feel better. You're going to feel more attractive. You're going to be emotionally stable. And you're just going to be overall kind of satisfied with how life is going. However, when you don't have sex, the less sex you have, you start to get stressed. You may feel a detachment from your spouse. You may get insecure about, your spouse and your relationship. Communication has a tendency to break down. You may get depressed and you may have anxiety. These are all very, very real things that happen when a couple does not have sex. So what are essential oils, and how exactly can essential oils help us with any of these issues we've talked about, right? So we talked about depression, we talked about stress, we've talked about hormones, a little bit about aging. So what exactly are essential oils? Well, essential oils are the extracts from plants. They're distilled from leaves, roots, barks, and stems. They are 50 to 70 times more potent than herbs. 1 drop of peppermint essential oil is equal to 28 cups of peppermint tea. They are very, very potent. But you want to make sure that you are getting the very best essential oils that you can, right? So you want to make sure that they're not like synthetic fragrances. And so that quality is definitely imperative. Be suspicious of clear bottles, and be suspicious of companies where all of these essential oils are basically the same price. They're not, they shouldn't be all the same price because they're not all the same to process. It takes tons of some herbs and some roots to make like one pound of a particular oil. So you want, you don't want to have all of your oils be the same price. You want ones that are pure, 100% pure. You want to make sure that you're getting them that have the highest chemical constituents as possible, and you know the sources that they're getting them from. You want to make sure that your essential oils are processed and grown. The leaves or the roots or the barks or the stems, they're actually grown where they grow the best. So, for example, lavender. I think everybody knows that lavender grows the best in Provence, France. So you want to get your lavender from there, and you want to know that your lavender essential oil is coming from there. So you want to get the very best essential oils that you possibly can. Now, here are 3 ways to use your essential oils. Number 1, aromatically. It's awesome. If you walk into my house, you're more than likely to smell either wild orange or lemongrass, or you may smell lavender. If somebody is sick in my house, you may smell On Guard, or you may smell eucalyptus or peppermint, or it just depends on what's going on, how I'm feeling, what I feel needs to be going on in the air. But aromatically, you diffuse it. It's great. It helps to manage mood, depression, and anxiety. It eliminates germs in the air, so you're purifying your air. It opens up airways, right? When you're sick, you know, you put the dehumidifier on, put some essential oils in there, kind of opens everything up. And it, you know, creates a pleasant aroma, will create an ambient mood. Topically, 1 drop of oil can affect every cell in the body. It enters the bloodstream in 30 seconds when applied to the soles of the feet. You can apply essential oils to the head, the feet, the ears, chest, and back, or areas where symptoms persist. And then internally. So you do not want to take most oils internally, but with doTERRA essential oils, you can take them internally because they are so pure. You can take them in a capsule. You can put them under your tongue. You can put them on the roof of your mouth, or you can put them in water. I put lemon essential oil in my water every single day. I put Slim and Sassy in my water every single day, and it has amazing combination of essential oils that give me a really great feeling, but also give me energy, and I love them. I also do peppermint sometimes when I want a little peppermint in my water. Oregano is a great antibiotic, and you can put that in capsules, and when you're sick, you knock it out just like that. It's especially helpful for digestive, oral, liver, immune, and urogenital issues. So why would we use essential oils? What are we going to use them for, right? So good sex is all about the 5 senses. And one of those senses has some impressive science to back it up as an important and often overlooked component to a healthy sex life. There is some really good reasons why essential oils absolutely help with your sex life. So let's just kind of check them out. So, essential oils. Because the limbic system is directly connected to those parts of the brain that control the heart rate, the blood pressure, breathing, memory, stress levels, and hormone balance, essential oils can have profound psychological and physiological effects. Olfactory responses to odors induce the brain to stimulate the release of hormones and neurochemicals that in turn alter the body's physiology and behavior. The emotional brain responds only to smell and not to words that are read, spoken, heard. Our sense of smell links directly to emotional states and behaviors often stored since childhood. Smell is the only one of the 5 senses that is directly linked to the limbic lobe of the brain. This is our emotional control center. Anxiety, depression, fear, anger, and joy all physically originate from this area, from this region of the brain. So let's talk about what some of the best essential oils are that for some of our issues, or some of the best essential oils for any kind of sexual dysfunction, or that you just kind of want to boost the libido or anything. So let's talk about Lang Lang. It's an amazing, amazing essential oil. It smells so good. It comes from flower petals of the large tropical Lang Lang tree. Lang Lang actually means flower of flowers. Throughout history in Indonesia, it's commonly been used to decorate the bed of newlyweds on their wedding night due to its energizing and aphrodisiac qualities. Lang Lang is considered an effective antidepressant, antiseptic, antispasmodic, and sedative. It has a positive effect on immune health, blood flow and emotions, making it a natural remedy for the endocrine, cardiovascular, reproductive, and digestive systems. Because of its ability to act directly on the olfactory system of the brain, inhaling ylang ylang can have immediate positive effects on your mood and act like a mild, natural depression remedy. It is said to expand the heart, and research shows it can help release negative emotions, including anger, low self-esteem, and jealousy. It is also beneficial for fighting insomnia without drugs and chronic fatigue syndrome, since it has mild sedative effects and can lower stress responses like a fast heartbeat and high blood pressure. So as you can see, it's an aphrodisiac. It has a calming effect. It fosters love and security, and it boosts your libido. Bergamot. Oh, I love bergamot. So according to Dr. X, bergamot is known to build confidence and enhance your mood. It also is used to kill bacteria, heal scars, and minimize marks on the skin. Bergamot is also used to reduce pain from headaches and muscle tension, as well as stimulate hormonal and digestive juices. There are a number of surprising health benefits from using bergamot essential oils as a natural remedy. Some of the most common benefits of bergamot essential oil include releases emotional pain, works as a powerful antidepressant, relieves joint and muscle pain, aids digestive system, soothes skin irritations, works as a sedative, kills germs and bacteria, and relieves stress. Bergamot oil uses can be used as an antidepressant. Depression can manifest itself with a variety of different symptoms. We've already talked about that, like fatigue, sad mood, low sex drive, lack of appetite, feelings of helplessness, and disinterest in common activities. Antidepressant medications have serious side effects, including suicidal thoughts, weight gain, and personality changes. So components of bergamot essential oil are antidepressant and stimulating. They can create a feeling of joy, freshness, and energy by improving the circulation of your blood. So they help you release negative feelings, rediscover spontaneity and optimism, and they help you to relax. What more could you want? Clary sage. Oh, according to a study published in the Journal of Phytotherapy Research, they found that inhalation of clary sage oil has the ability to reduce cortisol levels by 36%, and they improved thyroid hormone levels. The study was done on 22 postmenopausal women in their 50s, some of which were diagnosed with depression, and at the end of the trial, the researchers stated that clary sage oil had a statistically significant effect on lowering cortisol and had an antidepressant effect, improving the mood. The biggest benefit of clary sage is that it helps balance out estrogen production in the body. A lot of health issues today, even things like infertility, PCOS, and estrogen-based cancers, are caused from excess estrogen in the body. So because clary sage helps balance out those estrogen levels, it's an incredibly effective essential oil in a wide array of hormonal imbalances. It also gives you kind of a euphoric feeling. It has sedative properties, and it releases tension. Whisper. So Whisper is like a blend of a few different types of oils together. Whisper is kind of often referred to as the hotel room in a bottle. Whisper is the perfect blend to arouse the senses and lay the foundation for a wonderful evening. You can apply it topically to the lower stomach or behind the ears, or you can spritz it on your pillows with a few drops. And I just received my Whisper today, and let me tell you, it smells amazing. It kind of combines with everybody's individual chemistry to create your own signature personal smell. It has a warming, musky kind of aroma, and it entices and intrigues the senses. But the emotions that are kind of tied to it is it kind of gives you confidence, joy, peace. It elevates your emotions, reduces stress and anxiety, and it balances out hormones. So there's another one that balances out hormones, right? Cinnamon bark. Ooh, Everybody knows cinnamon bark, right? This is a great one because you understand the smell, you know the smell, but you have to be careful because it is a very hot oil. So you always have to use cinnamon bark with some type of dilution, whether it's fractionated coconut oil or something else. But cinnamon is a member of the laurel family. Cinnamon is sweet, spicy, and warming. It invigorates the senses, calms the nerves, and improves circulation. Cinnamon increases desire, creativity, and can improve erectile dysfunction and fragility. And by the way, pumpkin pie spice also has the same effect. So if you want to kind of enhance your energy and reduce fatigue, cinnamon bark is considered the oil of sexual harmony. It assists your body in assists you in accepting your own body, and it nurtures a healthy sexuality. Patchouli. This personally is one of my favorite. I use it every single day. It's kind of my perfume right now. I also use patchouli mixed with about 4 other different oils, and I use that as a deodorant. It's healthy for you. It's good for you. I don't get any of those toxins from other deodorants that you buy. So and plus you smell really good. Patchouli is a member of the mint family. It is sweet, musty, woodsy, and warming. Patchouli calms anxiety, lifts the spirits, stimulates the nervous system, improves clarity, and attracts sexual love. Used to treat yeast and vaginal infections as well as balance libido levels, most likely by balancing the endocrine glands. Patchouli is antifungal, antidepressant, antiseptic, aphrodisiac, and regenerative. It also you get like a grounding and stabilizing feeling, so you feel more connected. And like I said, it's an aphrodisiac. It promotes feelings of gladness and inspiration. It boosts creativity, and it diminishes depression and eases anxiety. Sandalwood. Patchouli and sandalwoods are ones that, my mom, being the wonderful, wonderful hippie that she was, my mom would burn sandalwood and patchouli incense in our house all the time. So whenever I smell these are my favorite smells because they always remind me of being at home. So sandalwood. Many of us are stressed out and overwhelmed with so many daily demands that having just a moment of peace and harmony would really help improve our lives. So there you go. Remember, all those, when you have kids, when you have, when you're feeling overwhelmed with all of your obligations that you have, whether it's with your family, your kids, your organizations, your work, whatever it is, you do get overwhelmed. So sandalwood is actually a good one that helps you with that. Sandalwood can help you achieve more clarity and calmness due to its extensive therapeutic benefits. This specially essential oil doesn't have just an amazing scent. Sandalwood can also have an effect on overall well-being and mental health. Not only is sandalwood beneficial for mental clarity, it also helps to create a feeling of relaxation and peace. Sandalwood is also an aphrodisiac that can help increase libido, especially for men, and provide energy. I know, right? We need to all get this if you're a woman. Sandalwood essential oil is also very effective in balancing out testosterone levels in both men and women. For men with low testosterone, adding a few drops of sandalwood into your homemade deodorant or into your homemade lotion, it's not just a great way to smell good, but it's also a great way to get some extra health benefits by improving your libido and your hormones. Sandalwood has been used for all kinds of things, like when you're meditating, it kind of helps to bring awareness, frees your mind as a creative source. It soothes aggression and irritability. So if you find that people are angry in your house and everybody just seems to be upset all the time, and because you're feeling overwhelmed, you're getting irritable and stressful, diffuse some sandalwood in your house. Have that going, and just don't even tell anybody what you're doing. Have it going and just kind of watch how everything seems to kind of calm down and people kind of relax. It releases fear and nervousness as well. Vetiver. Love vetiver. I have a funny little story with vetiver. So in my experimenting with what type of smells I wanted to use for a deodorant, I love the smell of vetiver. So I was like, okay, you know what? I think I'm going to use this. And I used vetiver for about 4 days. And in those 4 days, I was like beyond relaxed to the point where I just kept saying, I am so relaxed and tired. I can't get anything done. I can't function. You know, what is wrong with me? I just don't care. Like I'm just good. And the problem is I was using vetiver. Vetiver, while it's one of my favorite oils, it's very grounding and calming, and it's may be supportive in recovering from any type of a trauma, like an emotional trauma. The health benefits of vetiver essential oil can be attributed to its properties as an anti-inflammatory, antiseptic, aphrodisiac, nervine, sedative, and tonic. The very soothing and cooling effects of this essential oil calms and pacifies all sorts of inflammation. It is particularly good at providing relief from inflammation in both the circulatory and nervous system. It can speed up the eradication or disappearance of scars and other marks from the skin. It also promotes the growth of new tissues in the affected places, which replace the dead and discolored tissues and helps achieve a uniform look. So, you know, if one of your issues is you just don't feel like you look good, you know, you may have stretch marks or, you know, whatever the case may be. This is a good one for that, right? You know, if you feel like you're looking good, you're going to feel good. It also enhances the libido. It's an aphrodisiac. It arouses feelings of sexual desire. Since sex has more to do with the psychology of the brain than the physiology, a remedy for most sexual disorders is the lack of libido and impotence. Certain components of this oil stimulate those portions of the brain. Tonic for the nerves is called a nervine. Like the essential oils of vetiver, it takes care of the nerves and maintains their good health. It also heals the damage done to the nerves by shock, fear, and guess what? Stress. It sedates nervous irritations, afflictions, convictions, and emotional outbursts such as anger, anxiety, restlessness, and nervousness. And it can even benefit, they found that it benefits some patients that suffer from insomnia. So, you know, if you go ahead and diffuse a little bit of vetiver, a little bit of sandalwood, anybody walking into your house is going to immediately be calm and relaxed and cool, right? Everybody in your house is going to be feeling really good because, you know, with vetiver, it has calming, grounding effect on emotions, promotes a restful night's sleep, and I can attest to that. It really does. I use vetiver sometimes when I can't sleep. I will just rub a little bit on my temples, put a little bit on behind my neck, and you get a good night's sleep with it. But it also has immune supporting properties, which is excellent, right? Grapefruit. We all know grapefruit, don't we? Grapefruit is amazing because if you've ever seen any diet plan or anything, you know that one of the things usually on there is grapefruit. Have grapefruit in the morning for breakfast. Well, there is actually a reason why, because grapefruit does help with weight loss. Grapefruit's fresh, invigorating aroma helps to lift the mood and pleases the senses. It's pressed from the rind, not the fruit. So the doTERRA grapefruit essential oils pressed from the rind, not the fruit. Some people have asked questions such as, with grapefruit, you know, you're not supposed to have grapefruit if you are on certain medications. Well, you're not supposed to have grapefruit, the fruit, when you're on certain medications, but the rind has different chemical constituents than the fruit does. So actually, the grapefruit rind is not a problem, and you get all kinds of really good benefits from it. It cleans and it purifies. It's beneficial for healthy looking skin. It supports a healthy metabolism. It is considered a natural stress fighter and anti-inflammatory. As one of the most popular oils used in aromatherapy, grapefruit oil can increase your mental focus and give you a natural pick-me-up. When inhaled, its stimulating effects also make it effective for reducing headaches, sleepiness, brain fog, mental fatigue, and even poor moods. It is even beneficial for healing adrenal fatigue. So if you don't know what adrenal fatigue is, it is when your body has been on high alert and producing tons of stress hormones for so long that your body just gets overloaded and kind of shuts down. Um, so, um, so it's beneficial for healing adrenal fatigue symptoms like low motivation, aches and sluggishness. And some people like to use grapefruit as a mild, natural antidepressant since it can increase alertness while also calming the nerves. It's refreshing and reviving, alleviates stress, depression, tension, counteracts exhaustion, lifts self-esteem, and promotes optimism. And who doesn't want to be more optimistic or be more awake and refreshed when you're thinking about having sex with your partner, right? Here's a new one for us at doTERRA. It is doTERRA Passion Touch. It's an inspiring blend. Like if you feel like you just kind of lost your passion for life, and that happens sometimes, but it ignites feelings of excitement, passion, and joy. It counteracts negative feelings of boredom and disinterest. So let's talk about some of the recipes that you can use essential oils for. There is a really good one. It's for a sensual linen mist. You're using sandalwood, ylang ylang, bergamot. You mix it with 3 ounces of distilled water in a 4-ounce glass spray, and then you spray it on your sheets, you spray it on your pillows. It kind of helps to set the mood because all of those things are aphrodisiacs, right? They're also all very calming, and they're very they smell. Not only do they smell good, but some of those essential oils that are on there, remember, they affect the hormones. They also affect your happiness and lightening your mood. So that's a really good linen spray that you can use anytime. And then a romantic bath. So a romantic bath, you can use like a drop of the ylang ylang, you can use a drop of geranium, you can use a couple of drops of the clary sage and some Epsom salts. Put it in your bath and soak, and let me tell you, it's amazing. Not only are you getting the benefits from soaking in Epsom salt, which helps to relax your muscles, as well as the ylang ylang, the geranium, and the clary sage, you're also getting that wonderful smell. It's an aphrodisiac. It's kind of setting the mood. So a good idea, since Valentine's Day is coming up, and if you have children, farm the children out. Or better yet, you get somebody to babysit the kids, and the two of you go to a hotel and just set the mood. Get some candles, get some essential oils, and get the Epsom salt, and start with a romantic bath, just kind of setting the mood and making it very romantic. For an inspired evening, and I'm sure you can think of what an inspired evening would consist of for you, but in a diffuser, you can mix some ylang ylang, and you can mix some bergamot, and you can mix some clary sage. Once again, these are all aphrodisiacs. They're all very good for men and women, and or you can make a massage blend. So after you've had this romantic, wonderful bath, you're kind of getting in the mood. How about a romantic massage blend where you both, massage each other? It's the same essential oils, and you can use them in so many different ways. You can diffuse them. You can put them in a massage blend. You can put them in lotion, like a coconut oil or a lotion, so that afterwards, after you get out the bath, you can put that on as well. The aphrodisiac blend. So this blend is kind of one of those, I don't want to say guaranteed, but definitely because of what's in it, you may find that it gets you in the mood. So in the aphrodisiac blend, you put in some fractionated coconut oil, as well as black pepper. Black pepper is stimulating. Ginger is also stimulating. Rosemary gives you focus. It also makes you feel happy. Wild orange makes you feel happy. It makes you feel awake. Sandalwood will not only will you get the wild orange to help you feel awake, but you'll get the sandalwood to kind of calm you. So now you've gotten rid of the tension, but you're wide awake, right? Lang Lang and bergamot. And you can place it in all different kinds of places. You can put it behind your ears, behind your neck, on your wrist. It smells great. Okay, so the love lotion recipe. This recipe it's for women. Well, it's for both. It's for couples, but this is one where, you know, as we get older, sometimes we have a little bit more vaginal dryness, and that can come from hormones, right? Or it can come from antihistamines and come from a lot of things. But instead of using a toxic type of lubricant, you can actually make your own. And it's 100% natural. You're not putting in toxins in your body, so you're not going to be increasing infections or anything like that. But here's a recipe for it, right? You can just mix up some coconut oil, beeswax, very easy to get, and you put in, you know, these various essential oils: ylang ylang, patchouli, wild orange, lavender, sandalwood, and jasmine. And then there's the directions on here. You know, if this is one of the recipes that you would like to have, by all means, I will be sending this out. But there is an important note about this. Coconut oil can break down latex, and it may make latex condoms ineffective. So if you are using condoms, make sure, if you are using latex condoms, make sure that you are not using this lubricant and think that you are going to be protected, because you're not. Another thing you can do is you can make the same type of a recipe and just use essential oils that you can ingest, so that you can make it something that can be edible. Just a thought. Essential oil for low libido in women. Hey, it happens, right? You're just not thinking about sex. You don't feel sexy. You don't want sex. You're not. It's the last thing you want to do. Well, this is a recipe that you can add to a compress. You can put it in your bath. You can massage it on your lower back area. But what you're going to do is you're going to dilute a few drops of clary sage, ylang ylang, geranium, whisper into 1 tablespoon of fractionated coconut oil. Mix it all up, apply it, you know, give yourself a good 20 minutes, and I have a feeling you're going to rethink that not wanting to have sex. And then there's one for, you know, male low libido. As men get older, they become they have more sexual issues, right? Same way that you can use the women's low libido, you can do the same. So you can make a compress with it, bath, massage the lower back area. These particular essential oils have been chosen to stimulate circulation, as they work well energetically through the underlying emotional issues, and they also help with impotence. Clary sage, ginger root, because you know, the ginger root, remember, is very stimulating. Passion essential oil, black pepper, another very stimulating essential oil. Whisper, peppermint, another one. Sandalwood, and ylang ylang. Then there's the Sexual Energy Essential Oil Blend. So it was created to stimulate the senses and increase sexual desire with the use of earthy and sweet essential oils. This one really does smell good. I have made it. A sweet, earthy scent to get your sexual energy flowing, which is necessary when you're having sexual issues or if you're impotent. So you're going to, once again, make a compress, bath, massage. And with the other one, you know, if you're using ginger and peppermint, you want to be kind of make sure that you have enough water in your bathtub. You're not going to use too many drops of it. Make sure you're very careful with the drops you put in your bath water, because it can be very stimulating. But with this, you can dilute 2 drops each into a tablespoon of fractionated coconut oil of wild orange, ylang ylang, sandalwood, ginger root, patchouli, and mix that up and apply. So some good places to apply, right? Let's talk just a minute about reflexology. Nerve manipulation through massage techniques trigger reflective areas in a manner that promotes healthy improvement. So a good place to put these essential oils is maybe on the big toe and the ankle, and keep pressure there, because these are pressure points for libido. So maybe you want to, in your massage that you give each other, maybe you do a little reflexology and you put a little pressure on the big toe and on the ankle, the inside of the ankle, and you massage those areas and apply the oils. I have truly come to believe, and I actually believe this myself too, even though I wasn't the originator of this saying, but I've come to believe that taking care of myself is not self-indulgent. Caring for myself is an act of survival. So that should probably be your mantra, at least for a little while, especially when you're feeling overwhelmed. You got to remember to take care of yourself, because if you don't, who is going to? You have nothing left to give if you keep giving and giving and giving from your cup and you're never pouring anything back into it. So it is not self-indulgent to take care of yourself. It's an act of survival. Okay, so we've talked about all these essential oils and all the great things they can do. And what I did was I put together a few kits from the recipes that I showed you. And that way you have everything together, you know exactly what to get. And then there's a few little extra free surprises with it, right? So with the aphrodisiac kit, that big, huge kit, you get 25% off wholesale membership. You get free oil consult with me, as well as includes the aphrodisiac recipe. And this order actually qualifies for doTERRA's February promo, which is $100 free to use towards the oil of your choice when you set up your March order for 100 PV. Plus, you get a free essential oil A to Z guide, which has all kinds of different health issues in it and how you can use essential oils to help with your body heal itself. There's another one, the Female Low Libido Kit. Great kit, all the things you need right there. You get a free consult with me, and you get the recipe for that particular issue. And once again, 100 free dollars in oils to be used towards oils of your choice when you set up your March order for 100 PV. Plus, you get the free essential oil A to Z guide. Male Low Libido Impotence Kit. This has got quite a few oils in it. I don't know if it was like a man who came up with this or something, so he felt like they needed more oils. Not sure, but they all do work. They're all there for a reason. They all do different things. So, same thing. With this one, you get, you get the Male Low Libido recipe, and it qualifies for doTERRA's February promo, $100 free to use towards the oils of your choice when you set up your March order for 100 PV. Plus, you get a free essential oil A to Z guide. And then the Inspired Evening. So this is the one that has like the three recipes, right? The romantic bath, the diffuser blend, and the massage blend all use the same oils. So you can use all of these oils in different ways. You get the free consult with me, as well as the recipes, all three of those recipes, and you qualified for the February promo, 100 free to use towards your oils of your choice when you set up your March order for 100 PV. Plus, you get a free essential oil A to Z guide. The Sexual Energy Kit, same thing, right? So you get the free consult with me, including the sexual energy recipe, and this order qualifies for doTERRA's February promo, 100 free to use towards the oils of your choice when you set up your March order for 100 PV. Plus, you get a free essential oil A to Z guide. So here's a bonus for just until Saturday, and I'm making it available to all of you, and it's just until Saturday. For every enrollment kit purchased and March order set up for 100 PV before midnight this Saturday, February 11th, 2017, you will also receive a free green air scent tracker diffuser. So you'll be able to use your diffuser for all of those wonderful essential oils that you just got, as well as you will get all of the essential oil recipes in a little ebook, complete with the pictures and everything, and that way you can make up your own stuff. And it's perfect for your inspired evening use of, using the essential oils. All special enrollment offers expire February 15th at midnight. So the bonus expires this Saturday, the 11th, but the special enrollment offers expire February 15th at midnight. So you got to get your order in. And for more information or to order, go to www.mydoterra.com/doTerraWorld. I hope that you enjoyed this webinar. And I do want to thank you for joining me. Once again, my name is Latina Thomas. If you want to email me, by all means, go ahead and do so. And so I have another poll. I'm curious to know what everybody thinks of this poll, but let's see if I can get it to load up here. Yeah, it won't expand for me. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and not put that poll out there. But if you have any questions, by all means, now is the time to let me know. I absolutely will be answering any questions you may have. So go ahead and post your questions now. All right, so I have so I closed out my screen. I do want to put out a poll because I kind of want to see if anybody can answer this one, but it's not coming up. All right, well, any questions? Anybody have any questions for me? If not, thank you once again for joining me in my webinar. I appreciate it, and you're more than welcome to show this link to anybody. I will be posting this webinar so you can show your friends, your family, your loved ones, so that they can get the information as well. But once again, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you all again on the next Wednesday webinar, or Webinar Wednesday. See you later. Thanks. Good night.